Hey, all right, Shalom. So we're just gonna go straight in it, man. Last week we
Everybody
stopped
can
at
hear?
the 8th verse of
Speak loud.
Genesis.
So, there's people saying they can't
At the
hear.
8th verse of Genesis, the 3rd chapter. So we're just gonna continue on. Right.
This is Genesis 3 and verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord power walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
Right. Now then we Luke 1 and 7. Right. So they heard the voice of the Lord walking through the cool of the day. Now was that the Most High walking through the garden? No, it wasn't. You know? Go ahead. Then Luke, real quick, brother.
All right.
1 and 7. Real quick. Hold on, quick.
Luke chapter 1, verse 7. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Right, so that was a man of the Lord. That was the holy
Yo,
prophet, man.
speak loud.
That was the holy
loud,
prophet
loud,
of
loud.
the Lord. You know, that was walking through the
Let
garden.
them know you can't hear. You can't hear them.
Nah, I got y'all brothers.
We want to learn too.
Right, go ahead.
It says, and Adam and his wife, Slakia, yeah, I'm read again. And they heard the voice of the Lord
See how
power
he's reading?
walking in
That's how
the,
y'all got to speak.
Go ahead.
You know?
it says walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
Hebrew word real quick. For the word cool is Genesis 3 and 8. Now when you go into it, the word there in the Hebrew is rakah,
Let
right?
him know. Let him know.
Brother, be loud. Speak up.
From here, rakah, yeah.
Yo,
Like a lion. Yeah.
So the word cool in the Hebrew for Genesis 3 and 8, the word there in the Hebrew is rakah, right? And it's going to say, it says of wind, breath, mind, spirit, and when you scroll down, it says prophetic spirit.
Yeah, there was a prophet that was walking through the garden, man. So the prophets have always been around. Just give me a minute. Let me hear me.
A little bit. And you know what? And you know what? If you want to center yourself, center yourself.
Right, too.
Speak up.
It says, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord power amongst the trees of the garden.
Right, so they hid themselves from the prophet amongst the trees. Now get there, Ezekiel 31 and 8.
This is Ezekiel chapter 31 and verse 8. The cedars in the garden of the Most High cannot hide them.
Right, so the trees are representing other nations. You know, so and going back to Exodus, where the Lord said He set a difference between us and the Egyptians, man. So there's a big difference between us and them other nations. That's why Adam couldn't hide amongst them other nations. Right?
It says the fir trees were not like his bows.
Right, all representation of another nation, man. That's how the Lord speaks, man. The Lord speaks the similitudes, as it says in the book of Hosea, the 12th chapter. You got something, bro?
Got it.
Oh, you got it?
Hosea 12 and 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets.
Right, it's powerful. The Lord speaks like that in dark sayings. And when Yahushua was on the scene, what did He tell the disciples? Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not. So the authority ain't about teaching the whole damn world about everything, man. It's only for a select few, a chosen.
you got to find out what.
That was another. You can drop that. Go ahead, Sean.
Psalm 78 and 2. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old.
Right, man, because again, the word is not for everybody. This ain't the Christian church, man. You know, this ain't IUIC. We want members so we get tithes, man. This thing is just for the
Why you
elite.
getting on IUIC?
It's good, man.
One guy got hit by a church boat. Got feel sorry for the guy.
He's gonna turn into a zombie.
One old church guy pulled out a 9 sideways. They got shot at. They go from
That's a whole gangster.
There are examples of how not to be.
Right,
You might want to check that bite mark.
It says, verse 9, and the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.
Right, now Adam knew he was sinning. You know, so he hid himself. He knew he messed up. So he hid himself from the prophet, man. Just like, hey, in the time of when Joshua came in town, what did they say to Joshua? Cometh thou in peace?
Samuel.
You know? I'm sorry, Samuel, excuse me. Cometh thou in peace? You know, because when the prophets came, man, it was either to rebuke your ass, you know, or to give you a blessing from the Lord. So Adam knew that big rebuke was coming because he messed up. Why did he mess up? For listening to Eve, which is going to go into.
Quick precept.
Go ahead, bro.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 48. O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned. So when they was found naked, They broke the law, statutes, and commandments, which was oral tradition back then. That's why they was hiding themselves, because they felt guilty and they knew that the judgment of the Lord would come upon them. It says, for though it was thou that sinned, it says, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. And when you get the proper understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you understand that when Adam came back as Yahweh Shai, he had to die for those sins as well.
I got one to bring us.
Yeah, beginning with his own. It tells you that in Hebrews.
Going into the nakedness, showing you, like you said, it means it went off, right? So this is Isaiah 47. I'm going to the point, verse 3. This is talking about Esau, by the way, but it's going to the point about the word nakedness. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. So going back to the garden, it was their shame. They went off, right? And that was the point on that, going to the word naked, the nakedness.
Who's that?
It's Lamentations 1:8. Jerusalem hath grievously sinned, therefore she is removed. All that honor her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yeah, she sighed and turned it backward.
That's why, when a woman, she get a little breeze blow on her, she pull her skirt down. Because she don't want to be humiliated, man. It's an embarrassment. Sinning is really an embarrassment, man.
This is 1 Timothy 2 and verse 14. Okay. This is back at Genesis 3 and verse 9. And the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the men said,
and that was philosophies, the other philosophies of the other nations, man. The
knowledge of wickedness.
The knowledge of wickedness, right? The Lord didn't say that, like we were going into last week. It wasn't a physical apple, man. And we just read the scripture. The brother Gabar brought it out. The Lord speaking what similitudes, man. Go ahead. Real quick, read that first. Read on first.
Okay, it says, and the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Right, and that was Adam's sin now, listening to Eve. How you get that in
This is 1 Timothy 2 and verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Right, so Eve was really the one deceived, man. But Adam's punishment came from what? Listening to his woman. That's why the Lord set the man at the head of the house, not the woman. And that's why Esau flipped everything backwards, man.
Yeah, how can you be deceived by eating an apple?
Right.
Since when eating an apple deceives you?
That means we all messed up, because I love apples.
Apples are
They're good for your health. You got something? Go ahead, bro.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Right. And it's not a coincidence that these women are fighting for the rights to have abortions, man. Right. The rights to murder their child, man. It's not a coincidence, man. And the scripture say through her we all die. So these women are playing that out today, man.
Quick precept?
Yep.
This is Job chapter 14 and verse 1. Man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble.
Yeah, we all in hell, man. We all in hell. And hearkening unto your woman is even more trouble, man. And that's why Jake just got killed in a deli because of his woman the other day, man. Which they shouldn't even lock that guy up because it was self-defense. The guy's listening to him want to be big and macho in front of his woman, he ended up getting poked up and slain, man.
What, $3 bag of chips?
$3 bag, come on, man. Go on, let's put on Genesis.
This is Genesis 3 and verse 13. And the Lord Yahweh power said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Right, and now you got the definition for the word serpent? Yeah. If you look at the chat, I said that. The definition for the word serpent showing you that this is not talking about an actual snake, or a dragon or something like the Christian church or the Jehovah's Witness church would portray. Go ahead, bring that out. The definition for serpent.
All right, this is from Google. It says, a sly or treacherous person especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray
Here
it.
you go. So that was a man. That was a man in the garden that was spilling them lies to Eve, man. And you know the black woman, anything the white man says, she gonna follow, man. We all got black women in our family. She gonna follow that man. You know? One second, brother. Get that, then you, brother.
Matthew 23 and 33. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers.
Right, hey, wait. So was the Lord talking to a bunch of snakes? He was in front of a bunch of snakes rebuking them, right? Go ahead, bro.
It says, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell?
Right. Slime, wicked ass niggas. That's what the Lord was saying.
Serpent in Revelation 20 and 1 and 2. It's the Strong's G3789. It says, snake serpent with the ancients, the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. The serpent was deceived, the serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil.
Devil, man.
He's a man.
Go, man. You know? That was the spirit of Satan, man.
So real quick, just to prove that the serpent was an actual man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I fear least by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach.
You know, this is Genesis 3 and 14. And the Lord power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
Right. Thou are cursed above all cattle, man. And we're going to get a quick precept real quick showing you that, you know, the Lord is using these animal references to reference a man. You know, when the Lord called you like a beast or something, that means you're out of order, man. You ain't right. There's something wrong about you. Go ahead, bro.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 18. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
Right. They themselves are beasts, man. The sons of men are beasts. That's how the Lord look at all these other nations. Like they're nothing but brute beasts, man. You know, and you know, a beast needs to be controlled. A beast needs a master. Go ahead. No, you can read on first now.
It says, and the Lord power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go.
Now, Christian would say, you see, it's talking about a snake.
And dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Right. Now, when did that curse come to pass, man? We're going to get in Job 30.
This is Job 30 and verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdain to have set with the dogs of my flock.
Right. That's when Esau was in that beast-like state. You know, Esau, they'll teach you that we all came from caveman and all. No, you was the only caveman. Well, that's why your names are, we call you what? Caucasian.
Right.
Word Caucasian means what? Cave dweller, a dweller of caves, man. Go ahead.
Verse 2, yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat.
Right, and that's when they was in that beast like a caveman-like state, man. You know, grunting and all that shit out there in the wilderness. And that's why Job said he wouldn't want them to stay around his dogs, man.
Yeah, quest for fire.
Yeah, right. That was all. We had that, man.
2 million BC.
That's right.
That's why the Lord said he raised up the bases of men. You know, because it was the low. Oh, that's the spirit.
Book of Daniel 4:17. It says, this matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Right, and the basis of men are ruling right now. You can't get no lower than the so-called white man.
Sure can.
I don't think there's a hole that deep to go that lower than him, man. Go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 20 and verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on that dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, and that's Esau, man, and that's why they had to have a Renaissance period, man, to come back out of that state, you know. So it's going into a man. It's not going into an actual creature or an animal. It's talking about a man.
It says,
because hey, if the Bible would say instead of Babylon, say America, instead of the snake, the serpent, it says the white man, then everybody would get it. And the Lord don't want that.
Yep.
You know, you actually got to work. The Lord wants you to work to figure these things out, man. He can't give it to you too easy.
It's only for the elect.
That's right. It's only for the elected. The other Gabar.
Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9, it's another how the Lord used like parables and how he used like the people as animals. It says, mine heritage, so like it, is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come devour her. You know the beasts of the field represents other nations.
That's why I said in Ecclesiastes concerning the sons of men. You know, that they know that you're the beast. Nah, we got the point.
This is back at Genesis.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Let the brother finish that.
This is Revelation chapter 20 and verse 3. And cast them into the bottomless pit and shut them up and set a seal upon them, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose a little season.
Right, to what? Fulfill prophecy. You know? Because say Esau is the end of the world. So the Lord's going to use the so-called white man to bring forth the end of this thing, man. You know, he's using Esau to kill himself, man. All right, go back to Job now.
This is Job.
Genesis 25.
You said Job?
No, I'm sorry.
This is Genesis 3 and verse 15. And the Lord's power said unto the serpent, it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Right. And the enmity going to what? Hatred, man. Right.
It says, and between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Right. Now get Genesis 25 and 22, bro.
This is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
Right, so that's when this came to pass now, man. When Jacob and Esau was in the womb. Right?
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
What's happening to me? What's going on? Right?
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Right, but the main point I wanted there is that the children were struggling together.
Who's the Lord?
A prophet, another prophet. You know? I don't know who it is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Verse 33, verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So it's the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
It's a constant battle, man. It's a constant battle between good and evil, man. You know? The good on this side is to talk about the elect, the brothers that's doing the work. And evil is, of course, Esau and the other nation, man.
You guys see a quick precept about the woman? Go ahead, bro. All right. Jeremiah 6 and 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So, you know, the woman in Genesis 3, you know, that's a metaphor also for Israel. Because Israel is the woman of the Most High, you know?
Got a precept for that, real quick. It's Revelations chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That woman represents Israel, like Brother Yaza said. You know, the 12 stars on her head represents the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
You know, the devil said that that's a Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Point is at 26. Luke 16 and 25. I started 25, but his point is at 26. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. Verse 26. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass that to us that would come from thence. That's that enmity.
The word gulf means separation.
Enmity, one also to hatred. Esau hates the woman, Israel. This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, because thou hast a perpetual hatred,
and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity, had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Blood, you definitely pursue Esau. You ain't, the so-called white man ain't give a damn about Jake, man.
In the Bible dictionary, it says Edom is the scene of great future judgments.
Great future judgment, right, man. And that's why the Lord has such a strict and terrible judgment for Esau, man. Because of all the blood that he's done shed of the Israelites, hell, even the prophets, man. You know, you got to pay for that, man. The scripture talk about touching the apple of the Lord's eye, man. That's a grave sin. You know, we're princes of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, princes, royalty, man.
Plus, the Most High hates him.
Yeah, you can't forget that.
Hey, the head of Las Vegas did a video earlier. I didn't see the whole thing, but most of it, there was a so-called Jew, small hat, and he was saying he had friends in Nigeria. He said there's millions of them that know that they're Israelites. He said these are the people. So what? Huh?
I uploaded that video today too.
Okay, okay,
that's why
all right.
I uploaded it today.
Come on, man. When the small hat say it, brother, you can't. It's over. It's over. You know?
Okay. That was it?
But I got a scripture for y'all before we close. I'm going to let you teach. Just go to it, Psalms 81 and 3, and read it to yourself, and I'll ask the question.
This is back at Genesis 3 in verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Right, going into the wars between us, man. Going to the constant battle.
So we'll never get along with Esau.
Never.
It ain't never going to happen.
Oil and water do not mix.
Right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right, the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth, man. The end of Esau and the beginning of what? Jacob, man. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right, and this was a great sign that Isaac and Rebekah saw, man. This was a great sign. One child was trying to pull the other one out of power, man. That's all it meant. Right?
For Esau is the end of the world,
right,
and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Right, and that's how we know this is the end, because what? Esau is ruling. The so-called white man is in power, so that's how we know this is the end, man. And plus all the other millions of prophecies is popping up and down, you know? Right. That was it? Yeah, that was it. All right, go ahead, bro.
Verse 16.
That word world, when you link it up with Matthew 24, the end of the world, the word there is eon, which means an age. What does the age mean? The time of rulership. Right. All right? So is the earth going to be destroyed? No. Our rulership's coming in.
Right. It's transitional power.
Exactly.
Verse
16. And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Now, you know, I always think about it. You know, I witnessed my son being born, and for his mother, that was the most painful experience ever. You know, so that was a curse. That curse is shut up on all women. You know, and I remember you had said in the video, Pastor, no matter how many epidurals they pop, they can't escape that labor pain, man.
And Esau, with all his science, can't take away that pain.
Right.
Because the Most High, you know, Most High put something on you, brother.
That's it.
You can't get it off, you know.
Hey, it's just like Jake. I'm sorry, brother. It's just like Jake in the entertainment world. They think getting millions and millions of dollars, they're gonna escape the curses, and they all die broke. You know, because you can't escape. The curse is embedded in your DNA, man. You know?
Yeah, I was going to say that those epidurals, what they end up doing in the future for the woman is giving her permanent back pain and back aches. Both my daughter's mothers suffer from that. And my youngest daughter, mom, is young. Not like young, like, she's young. And my oldest daughter. Yeah. But she,
don't say it loud enough for the audience.
Yeah, but she got permanent back pain now, and like she always complaining about her back. And prior to having a child, she never had it. She never had back pain.
What's that devil for side effects?
This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 38. It says, well, I'll start at verse 37. It says, Behold, the plagues
draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Hey, and America's going through some birth contractions right now, man. And the birth pain they're going to go through now is what? That famine. You know, we on the verge of a worldwide famine. So America's feeling that. Them contractions is coming, man. And the ultimate pain is when we with the missiles hit, man. When Yahweh Shai come with the chariots, start shooting lasers on America, burning this bitch up. That's the ultimate pain, man. You know?
The Georgia Guidestones got hit by lightning, allegedly. We don't know. We don't know if they did it or the Most High did it with the lightning, right? Yeah. But what I do know that they did, they immediately took down the rest of it, which that's a crime scene. So the cops, and you said the GBI, the Georgia FBI Bureau, you supposed to have remote everything, find out what they just took it down quick. So I believe that they did it, or the Most High did it with the lightning bolt, and they wanted to hurry up and, you know, move on. We don't know. We don't know. Some brothers saying one thing, you said one thing, I think otherwise. I think they did it, you know? But I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's speculation.
They covered something up.
That's it.
They cleaned that scene up.
And then the president of Japan, the former president, he got shot. They finally showed the film. He didn't get shot. The guy made a film. First of all, you made a whole man. They showed you the gun. It don't even look like a gun. And look too. How you gonna be that good of a shot? You didn't hit nobody else. Now they showed the film, and he was speaking, and the guy was at the back of him. They said he got shot in the chest. The guy was behind him. The first shot was a boom, and the premier looked around, and then people ducked, and the second shot, the president ducked. And there was no blood, you didn't see no exit wound, nothing like that. Then they hurry up and cover this guy up. And that's all he bled out. Wait a minute, when you get shot, you got people there, hey, stuff a t-shirt in his ass and stop the blood, right? They put a top over him, they took him, and oh, he died. And I said, man, I don't believe that shit, you know? That was all part of their plan, you know? Another thing, Boris Johnson, he resigned. A lot of things are happening.
A lot of his cabinet resigned.
Exactly. So a lot of things are happening.
The NYC, the police, and a lot of detectives in New York.
Yeah, they're leaving. They're retiring early. Yeah. The military, a lot of military guys, they don't want to take that jab. Now they're bringing the jab back. Now you got to wear the mask and all that. There's another. People won't woke up to this shit, man. You see what's happening with Sri Lanka, right? Yeah. They done busted in the president. He left. They're all up in there, man. That's total chaos. Total order and chaos. Now they got to bring order. How do you bring order? Martial law. Declare martial law. You know?
Yeah, with the stones falling down, either way, they gotta move. You know, either way, either Lord or
oh yeah,
Bob,
either way.
They know their time is short.
They did it or whether the Most High did it.
Yup.
Take it to the next phase.
Yeah. Right.
All right, back at Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
That's right. 1 Corinthians 11:3. Thy desire shall be, which is the right order of things, man. A woman is meant to be led. That's why scripture say, give not a woman liberty to gather abroad. Because you see what happened. Now these women are fighting for rights to murder a child, man. That's how wicked that. That's a woman's way of expressing herself. That's a women's way of. There's another word that they use.
Pro-choice.
Empowerment. That's another way of women empowerment, man. That they do. 1 second, bro. I got you. 1 Corinthians 11:3.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
That's what you have? Yes.
And verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach.
Right. The head of us is Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Right. So we're supposed to rule. We're supposed to rule over these women, man. So you ain't supposed to be in the crib, you know, your woman beating on you and shit, man. You ain't supposed to be like that, dude. Come on, man. Grow a backbone, man.
50-50.
50-50. That's all BS too, man.
Real quick. This is Sirach 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife but getteth a possession.
Right. She's a possession, man. Meaning she's yours. That woman ain't gonna tell you whatever. I'm sorry.
That's why she take on your last name.
Right, that's why you stick on your last name, right? And that's why it's good to have a son rather than a daughter, man. You know, that woman is yours. You have a possession, it's yours. You do whatever you want with it, man.
It says, a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest.
And that, oh man, that don't exist anymore. That do not exist, man. That died out with Judith, man. That died out with her. Go ahead, man. We got Corinthians. Let's finish the Corinthians and I got you, brother.
This is on 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man.
Right, the head of the woman is the man. That's the correct order of things. And it's going to go right back to that in the kingdom of heaven. They ain't going to buck up to us, man. They going, yes, Lord, no, Lord, this and that. That's it. Right?
It says, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High.
Right, and the Most High is the head of Yahushua. Go ahead, boy. That's
2 Timothy 2:12. Sorry. Something out of woman to usurp authority. No, something out of woman to usurp authority.
First, is it?
Yeah, it's
First Timothy.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And that's a woman's natural role, is to be in silence and have a man rule over her. And she can't usurp authority over a man.
Any woman that usurps authority over a man, she wind up getting with another man that the man to rule over her. You know?
Yeah, she loses respect for you. If she overpowers you, she loses respect for you.
Woman's always testing you, so you fail the test, she with another dude. So what is the best thing to do? Don't have no woman.
Be without a woman.
This by yourself. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. You got it. You got it.
This is a new thing, man. This is strange to us. Imagine how this is outside. It's strange, man. A woman can pass by a man. What the? If this was the ancient world, man, a lot of these women would just get slain right away, man.
really?
You know, they would have just been slain. Ain't no ancient men from back in the days gonna let a bitch talk to him the way these bitches talk to us. You know? So that was it. Go ahead.
This is why we're gonna have 7. How many women you plan on having? Me? In the kingdom?
I ain't gonna be able to count.
That's a good answer.
Good answer.
A whole mess of
I ain't gonna be able to count them.
Say that again.
In the kingdom, me, pertaining to women, I'm not gonna be able to count them.
There it is.
It's impossible to be able to count them because I'm gonna have multiple women. You know?
There it is.
And they're gonna be in order.
There it is.
They ain't gonna pop shit, they're just gonna be in order. They're gonna cook me, they're gonna do what the hell I tell them to do.
They're not
By
gonna
the blood.
They're not gonna
Well, you know.
They're gonna have their servants too. Your slaves are gonna cook. Our women are gonna be living good. We ain't gonna be slapping them around and making them cook in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. They're gonna be pregnant and barefoot, but they're gonna be living good. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if your woman's good for you, it'll be like something like
you're gonna have servants to cook because remember you're royal sheep.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. Right?
You want to say something on there?
The main woman that you got to get from around is the philosophers. Christianity, Islam. Right. Those are the women that got, what is that? What's that? Proverbs 7, is it?
Oh yeah.
Proverbs 7 and 9, I believe it is. Go to that real quick. I believe it's the 9th verse.
This is Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 9. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold. Yep.
Start at 5. Start at 5.
Start at 5. So
Verse 9 is good.
9 is good. This is Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 9. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. Keep going.
You keep going.
It says, now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me, this day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry with carved works with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us.
Those religions, philosophies, they look appealing. You know, it's like you see a nice looking woman, she's smelling good, dressed real nice. You know, she has certain feminine wiles about her. She's very alluring. You know, like the scriptures say, it speaks about seducing spirits. Right. Those are those philosophies. That's why I said that the men of the Lord, the elect that make it through, they were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
But they are virgins. So that woman is not talking about a woman, is talking about the philosophy. Kemet, you got Jakes in the Kemet, right? They can't get at it.
Right, that's right.
You got Jakes in the Islam. The hardest nigga to wake up is a nigga that's in Islam. You Islam walking down the street. I'm not even going. Them Christians, you see the hard time the IUIC is going through with them Christians, man, they pulling out guns and all that, man. Women fighting them, taking off slippers, throwing it at them, trying to run over with cars and shit. You know? That's what that's talking about.
And the scriptures say that they're snared in holes. You know, to be snared means you're trapped. So, you know, those are the prison houses.
Proverbs 5 and 3. For the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword.
And guess what? All these Mennonites, Baptists, all these different religions, Islam, the Moors, what prophecy don't they know that they're gonna get caught up in?
The mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast, including Israelites, other Israelites, because they're bucking up against it. You know how foolish IUIC and ISUPK gonna look when they actually start setting up them chipping stations, man? Them people that follow them, they're gonna bug the fuck out, man.
The whole thing with the Nokia, they want to make your body basically a goddamn cell phone, man. That's the mark of the beast, man.
Thank you. Even thank you. And these niggas still can't see it, man. Speak loud.
When you did the video, 6G chip, with the Nokia, remember that? I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, getting over the bridge, used to going through the Easy Pass, used to be able to take your Nokia phone and just throw it up and it would get you about free.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. Now you got everybody got that tag. You know. I got it, you know.
It's back at Genesis 3 and 17. Yeah. It says, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee.
Right, showing you that was Adam's mishap, man, his mistake. That's why the Lord said it. Thou hast hearkened because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, man. That was where Adam messed up. Go ahead.
Saying, thou shalt not eat of it, curses the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Right. Bring that out real quick, Ecclesiastes.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 23. For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also vanity.
Yeah, keep on.
It says, there is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of the Most High.
Right, so that's why we gotta work for everything now, man. You gotta bust your ass just for a damn underpaid paychecks, you know, that's gonna run out, which we're under the curse of Haggai 1 and 6. You know, as soon as you get it, you gotta spend it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get your check, you gotta deduct your bills, and that's damn near half your check.
Daily bread.
I'm sorry?
Daily bread.
Daily bread, that's right. That's right. Oh yeah, that was it. Right,
it says,
So with that, we're going to close. But I want that scripture. I want to deal with that scripture. The Psalms 81 and 3. Okay?
You want them brothers to come back up next week? Or
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. You
Okay.
control this.
So what verse are y'all in?
I think 17.
All right, so
Going into
Lord's
18.
will, yeah, brothers come back up and finish up. And then,
Okay, done.
You ain't part of the crew. Sorry. No. He said the first time I saw him. Israelite indeed.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was mesmerized.
Yeah.
Hey, what if he's an angel? He came out of
And
nowhere.
I was messing around. A few years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
I was messing around.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
he
that's
kid-
what I'm
yeah,
saying. I'm covering my ass.
yeah, come.
Joking around.
Come.
That's a humor.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go to it. Let's read it. Anybody like to read it? Somebody with a good, strong voice.
This is Psalms 81, verse 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. In the time appointed, our solemn feast.
RSV. Sorry, go to the RSV. The Revised Standard Version.
Are you in the blue letter?
No.
If you're in the blue letter, you can go to get a switch. RSV. Got it? Yeah, read it.
This is the RSV, Psalms 81 and 3, RSV. Blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the full moon on your feast day.
Okay, tell me what it means.
Blow your
Read it and break it down.
blow the trumpet at the new moon. Blow the trumpet at the new moon. Well, for the modern time would be our voice, but in the ancient.
No, we're dealing with moon.
Oh.
We're actually dealing with the moon.
Oh, the new moon is the Sabbath.
Okay, no, break it down again.
Oh, okay.
Read it and break it down
Okay.
again.
Blow the trumpet at the new moon, the full moon on your feast day.
It says, read again, slow.
Blow the trumpet at the new moon.
At the new moon.
God.
It's talking about the new moon. So you blow the trumpet because the new moon is the first vocation.
God.
If you go to Leviticus 23, what's the first vocation or calling? Convocation. The first one is the new moon, right? So you blow the trumpet because you ate. You prepared the food before the moon went, the sun went down. When the sun went down, the moon came out. You ate. You did that every
Month.
you did it like 4 times a month.
Oh yeah, 4 times.
And then the new moon, you also did that. So read it again. Read it again.
So it says, blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the full moon on your feast day.
So what does it mean?
Blow your.
What does it mean? It said, what does it mean by blow your trumpet on the new moon, on the full moon?
So whenever.
Does that mean that the new moon is the full moon?
No, but if the new moon falls on the new moon, I'm not gonna.
You break it down. You break it down.
I mean, it says it right there. You blow the
Speak
trumpet.
loud, huh?
Blow the trumpet on the new moon and on the full moon, showing that
That's
it's
the
two
only thing
different.
that they took out. They took out and. Now this guy, you know, the tallest guy in IUIC, me and him always go at it, but he uses different avatars. So y'all be cursing him out like it's a new dude. I already know. I can tell by his. That's this nigga, man. I say, what's up, right? But anyway, he said we were going back and forth about the new moon and the full moon. So he hit me with that script. He said, read it verbatim. So I looked at it in the spirit. I said, man, they ain't gonna get one over on me. What it means is, blow the trumpet on the new moon. It should be and the full moon.
Right.
On your what? Feast day. You notice it said feast, one feast. How many feasts do we got? We got more than one feast, right? So when you go, like if you think about it, you go to the commentary.
It's right here. It's right here.
Go ahead.
Right here it says in the NLT version, blow the ram's horn at the new moon and again at full moon to call a festival.
That's a cut. So he thought he had me, man. So I made, you notice I made a video and I put it in the title, Psalms 81 verse 3. But he never came back and I mentioned his name. Then I went on one of his avatars and threw it at him again. He never came back. Then he tried to change the story about the Lord, the Sabbath day. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because he's saying that the Sabbath is Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown, and the new moon is the full moon by using RSV. But if you go to NLT, it tells you and, the word and they took out.
I got the NIV. It says,
now if you go to the Cambridge Bible in schools, y'all should start using that, man. A lot of them, either most of the time, they say what we say. Sometimes they go off, but most of the time, you thinking they're gonna say something different from the way you break it down, and they say, wait a minute, they're breaking it. Like if you go to Daniel 7, right? They break it down the same way we break it down. They say the beast that was different than the others. They said it's the Roman Empire. The beast before that was the Greeks. The beast before that was the Medo Persia. The beast before that was the. But then they don't say anything about America. Now there's certain Edomite Christians that will tell you that and beast is talking about America too. Rome, like this guy, Stan Johnson. Huh?
So this is the NIV, same scripture, Psalms 81:3.
She just read it. You can read it again.
Right. Sound the ram's horn at the new moon, and when the moon is full, on the day of our festival. So that's the same thing. You read the NOT, you read the NIV.
Hold on, let him say it. That's the first time I've seen
So this is I typed in on a Google Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and then you got an image of it. And when you go down to the feet of iron clay, it says the kingdom of restored Rome. Right here.
But they don't tell you what restored Rome is. All right? How do we know this is America and the EU? Because they had a meeting, it was called what? The Treaty of Rome. And let me say this too, right? We got that out the way. Psalms 81:3, we got that out the way. Y'all got to get this out of hand.
Yeah.
All right?
It says right here. It says right here. To the feet of iron clay, divided nations of Europe. Present day.
Divided nations of Europe.
It says the feet of iron and clay, divided nations of Europe, 476 AD to present day.
And you know what, man? These ones changing their game up because they've been watching us. Hey, this guy, Vocab Malone, he got his game up with some scriptures, man. He's swift on the scriptures. Why? Because he's been watching us. So we're the authorities. We're the authorities over all the camps. We're over ISUPK, IUIC. We're over all of them, man. Sakari came out of us. This is the camp. This is the house of David right here. I was going to say something else, and I'm going to let y'all go. Oh, I was looking at the, and I did a video on it. I was looking at the Southern Poverty Law Center because they took our names out, GMS. But then they went back into it, and they said they were speaking about the Israelites. A lot of shit they were saying was shit. They've been watching us, right? Then they said, here's a list of the most prominent Hebrew Israelites. Guess what came up? There was 4 of them. Guess what names came up? There were 4 groups that came up. He said, here's a list of the most prominent Hebrew Israelites. And then they said, oh, these black Hebrew Israelites, they don't call us black no more, because a lot of us, what about this guy? Look like Edomite, right? They call us radical Hebrew Israelites. Right. They don't use black no more. And then they say we don't use black no more because there's a lot of Israelites in their groups that look like white people. Because we covered that. So you can't call us black Hebrew Israelites. They say you guys are the radical Hebrew Israelites, which are different from those other, like the people that's over there in Israel, them other groups that you don't hear about. He said, they're not deaf. That's a different group of people. The focus is on us. So they said there are 4 prominent groups. Can you name me the 4 prominent groups? What you think the 4 prominent groups are?
GMS, ICBK, IUIC, and Sakari.
You got it. You got it. If you look it up. They didn't mention HODC, all the other groups. They mentioned IUIC, ISUPK. Then they didn't even mention the leaders. GMS led by Elton Sahar. IUIC led by Bishop Nathaniel Ben Israel. ISUPK led by General Yohanan. Then when they got to Sakari led by Guerrilla Hebrew.
They was doing their homework.
Oh yeah. And if you read it, it's like them. They got actual spies up in the camp. You know what I'm saying? They know what, they know the names. You know, they know where y'all live and all that, man. You know? Anybody else got anything to say before we close? Go ahead, Al.
I was going to say, concerning the Psalms, the Sabbath scripture, when you look at it, it's like separated by commas, right? And like you were saying, that's another way of saying and. Like if you come to the kitchen and I say, fill up your plate with rice, comma, beans, comma, chicken, I'm saying rice and beans and chicken.
Exactly. So you were here when we read it?
Yeah.
Okay. You got any questions concerning? Because I say this, brother, you know, he likes to pull us on this, mainly me, and I'm, you know, I ain't, you know, one-on-one type of guy. He likes to deal with him. But if you got a question, bring it out now for everybody to hear.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
All right. So last week y'all went into the tree of life. They went to Revelation 22. The second verse, it says the tree of life was in the midst of the street and on either side. Then it goes into the 12 manner of fruit. I heard one breakdown. I think Apostle Ramlab, you did it with Elder Manatazak, and you mentioned the zodiacs. I just wanted to confirm, that's what Revelation?
That's the way Ariel broke it down, because you had an almanac. Even in the ancient world, when you planted, you went by the almanac, and it was broken up into 12. Esau, when they farm, they have a yearly almanac. Where do you think they got it from? They got it from us. So anytime everything that you did was based upon the calendar. So a year is what? Esau's year is 12. They got it from us, and our year is based upon 12, right? 12 moons. Oh, go ahead.
All right. So the tree of life in the book of Genesis, it says that after Adam had partaken of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then the angel said, take him out of here before he takes of the tree of life and then lives forever.
Guess who's doing it? We're Adam, right? Guess what we're doing? We're taking the whole tree of life now. There wasn't time for them to take the whole tree of life.
Okay.
They were innocent. They were supposed to be innocent. That's why it said. That's why the Lord said, "Who told you that you were naked?" Right. Like a little baby. A little baby runs around butt naked, pees all over the shit. Don't give a shit, right? Because that baby haven't matured to see this is a shame to walk around butt naked. So what happened was he took the other side, which he wasn't supposed to do. That's why Satan went to Eve. How did Eve get Adam to do it? Through what? Yeah. Right? That's it. You know, a woman, hey, you know, all y'all that got women, right? You know what you doing. She don't say nothing to you sometimes, right? But you don't say nothing, you ain't got my food ready. Now, if you come home and she's real nice, you be like, what you want out of me? Oh, but I just need $200. They're all nice. Right. All the chicks that I dealt with do the same thing. When they get real extra nice, I said, what you want? How much you want? So the same thing goes back to Adam and Eve. Eve, you know, stroked his ego, you know, to get him to become a part of it, which is part of the plan. Yeah. And now if they did take of the tree of life fully, knowledge of good and evil, would they live forever?
If they took up the tree of life?
The tree of knowledge of good and evil?
Nah.
Yes, they would.
The tree of knowledge of
because that's why the Most High had to block them. That's why the Most High said an angel, but you know what? The Most High could have killed them anyway, but it wasn't time for them to get that. Right. Now's the time for us to get the tree of good and evil. Right? Yeah. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. We were supposed to be innocent people. All right? Yeah. So guess what? We went off. The Most High punished us. We were found butt naked, right? So now we're coming back. So the Most High said, here's the tree of life, tree of good and evil. You ain't going to fall off from it. That's what that means. That's what that means, right?
Oh, sorry, I just got one precept.
And then you go.
This is going back to the 12 manner of fruit. This is Job 38:22. I mean, Job 38:32. Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? Now you look up the word Mazzaroth, right? It goes. The word is Mazarah, which goes into, in the sense of distinction, some noted constellation, only in the plural, perhaps collectively the zodiac. The 12 signs of the zodiac and the 36 associated constellations. You know, because if we lost that science. If we had the science to read the heavens, you could look up, see the sun, the moon, the stars, the constellations and all that, and be able to read them. That's what you have.
Who was able to do that? Everybody's hand should go up.
Yeah, everybody.
Good. All the hands are going up. Your hand didn't go up.
I didn't hear it.
What did I say? What did I say?
Right, so who knew that?
Who among the tribes, who knew how to look up in the heavens and see what you're going to win a war now? I'm asking you. Good. Give me a hand. Good. Issachar. Now, somebody knows what it is in Chronicles, right? Somebody can bring it out? Hold up, let him bring this out first. It's in either First Chronicles or Second, I believe it's Second Chronicles. And out of all the tribes, who made that elaborate calendar that Esau goes by? Issachar. The Aztecs, Issachar. Go ahead, Ak.
This First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32. And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the time, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment.
So how do we make the connection with them looking in the stars? Because they made that elaborate calendar that Esau even goes by, man. They said that the world is going to come to an end in 2012. Guess who got scared? Esau.
Right.
Esau even made a movie called 2012 dealing with the end of the world because they were following that calendar.
Yeah, that was Issachar.
Yep. So, you got something. I'm going to close.
I have two scriptures that answer the brother question about Genesis. You said Adam was prevented from the life.
So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 4 verse 30. It says, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come. Yeah, so
You gotta read loud.
This 2nd Esdras chapter 4 verse 30. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. Yeah, so wickedness was sown in Adam. That's why when you read in Genesis and how where it speaks about, somebody can read that real quick. Genesis 3.
All right. Genesis 3.
Why did Adam go?
Romans 8:20.
Huh?
It was meant to happen.
It was meant to happen. Is there a precept? Is there a precept for that?
Even in Genesis, it is done. This is Romans 8:20.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Romans 8:20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope.
So Adam was made perfect, but was he really perfect? No. We are Adam all over again. Are we going to be perfect? Right. First Corinthians 15 verse 1 down. We're going to change.
Right.
The sin is not going to. We're not going to commit sin. We're going to be perfect.
Yes.
What Adam was supposed to be, but the Most High set it up this way. So this is the Most High's movie.
Right.
The Most High's movie began 7,000 years ago.
Right.
So we're in the closing credits. And the new movie, the sequel or whatever is coming, which is our kingdom. But we're gonna be. It's beautiful that you're gonna be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be nothing. Ain't no more drive-by shooting. Ain't no more niggas stabbing a nigga in the back.
No more abortions.
Ain't gonna be no drill music in the kingdom.
No more abortions.
No what?
No more abortions.
No more abortion.
Hey, the Lord put a pause on getting back to righteousness, so that we can learn the left-hand side of the tree. Right.
Real quick, Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
That's it. So with that, go ahead, brother. One more.
We get to new bodies. That's when we're gonna fully have eaten of the tree of life.
We're gonna have the knowledge of it. We're gonna have the knowledge of everything. We'll be able to read minds. And Lahab said 1,000 years and Esau gonna sneak up. No, we'll be able to read the slave's mind. If an Edomite told you Phil, he said, "You motherfucking nigga." What'd you say?
Yeah.
We're gonna read. We're gonna be perfect, man. We're gonna see everything.
It's gonna be like Yahweh Shai.
They're gonna be washed up, man.
We're
And
gonna be better. We're gonna be better than Yahweh Shai.
I was gonna.
You heard what I said? You heard me. We're gonna be better than Yahweh Shai said. And that's what Yahweh Shai said. He said, the things that I do, you shall do in greater. And they said that Yahweh Shai did so many, Hamashiach did so many things that there's not enough, the world cannot contain all the books. So he said, what did he do when he was a child? They said there was a thing where, like an old wife tale, where he used to take sand or dust and he used to form it and turn it into a dove, blow it. That's what they say. It's not in the scriptures.
Boy,
he did turn water into wine.
And his mother put him up to that. Because she saw the miracles. She had to see the miracles when he was little.
Yeah, she already knew that she could perform miracles.
And he was like, woman, what I have to do with you? You know, my hour's not yet come. She was like pushing his hand, you know.
And I hate to say it this way, you had the first Adam,
right?
And then you got the second Adam, right?
But this Adam,
the second Adam came correct,
right? The first
when he came
Adam,
as Solomon, he came pretty damn good,
right?
But he went off when he got old, right? When the young rich man said, "Oh, good master," why did he say, "Why does thou call me good?" Because he was going back to when he was Solomon, when he was Adam. Now, when he was Melchizedek, he was perfect. All right?
Yeah, what did Job say? Job said, I'll be satisfied when what? When I awake with his likeness. Whose likeness?
That's it.
That's when we're going to be satisfied.
That's it. Go ahead.
To answer the brother question, because asked, we're going to have it in the kingdom of heaven. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 7.
Hold up. Can I ask, who is the tree of life? Yahweh Shai.
It says, he that have an ear, let him hear.
He said, I'm come to bring what? Life.
It says, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of the Most High. You know, so we're all going to eat of the tree of life in the kingdom of heaven, of course, in righteousness, man. You know, that was it.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Sirach 19 and 19. It says the knowledge of the commandments is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him to receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
I was just gonna add something real quick. That's why one of the nicknames for the Lord was Son of Man, which means son of the ground.
Son of the ground, yeah.
And so we'll see y'all, you and the brother come up, right? All right? As a matter of fact, you can hook up with Connecticut, man. See where they want to go eat at. All right? And so with that, we're gonna say Shalom. Let's do this quick.
Call Yeshua, Amadio, we're up. Dismissed.
Shalom, bro.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
All right, let me hold on. All right,